Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com, and in today's video, we're going to celebrate. We got in the state of Texas, we have a client who was being sued by a debt collector. Was being sued by the original creditor, Capital One Bank, suing for credit card debt. How much was this credit card debt? $6,645.80. So now let's take it from the top. Knock, 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 knock on the door. You have this, you're being served. Look at this document, you're being served. This credit card company is coming after you for $6,645.80. All of these things run through your mind. What am I going to do? Who am I going to talk to? Are they going to garnish my wages? Are they going to garnish my bank account? What, I don't know where to turn to. But then also you start to kind of withdraw depending on your relationship. If you are married or girlfriend, boyfriend, some of this stuff you might even hide. Some of this stuff you may not even tell anybody about. Some of this stuff, when you go to work, people can see something is wrong with you, but you don't say anything about it. You withdraw. These are the things that people do. All of this stuff runs through our minds when you're summoned to court over something that can make a huge disruption in the way that you're able to pay your other bills. No one is in court or having someone sue them for money that they were able to pay. I think that it is a rarity. Everybody that we've been able to help, they are usually going through some sort of disruption, either divorce or job loss or some type of downsizing or medical something. There's always something that happened behind it. But with all of that being said and done, you got to manage your life. You got to manage your family. You got to manage your job. You got to try to juggle all of these balls in the air to keep things going. When in the back of your mind, when you lay down to go to sleep, probably the number one thing that pops in your head is that knock on the door or that summons that you got, and you're like, the clock is ticking. It says specifically that you have 20 to 25 days to respond to that court summons. And if you don't respond to that court summons, you're going to get an automatic stamp that says default judgment. You're going to get an automatic stamp that's going to go to garnish your wages. And when they garnish your wages, they don't garnish your wages on a monthly basis. Like when you were paying that credit card debt, you were paying that on a monthly basis. When they come to garnish you, they're coming to garnish your money every pay period. So if you get paid once a week, you're going to get garnished once a week. If you get paid every other week, you're going to get garnished every other week. If you get paid monthly, then they're going to garnish you monthly. And they're going to take upwards of 25% per pay period. This puts people into a bad situation. But we have right here in my hands, victory can happen if you know what to do. For this individual here, they were facing a $6,645.80 lawsuit from the original creditor. Now, I will restate this for those of you who think that I'm trying to have people run away from their obligations. There is no one on this channel, and I want everybody on this channel right now to like this video, because there are other people that will say that I'm trying to get you out of paying your obligations. No. You have these financial problems right now because of poor decisions that you've made. But even with the poor decisions, you're not able to pay. The bills, the monthly bills, and stacked up. You got to take care of the household, take care of the family, got to keep a roof over their head, keep transportation. You're trying to keep everything going. And you had to make certain decisions to let certain stuff go. This is what I went through. This is what you potentially are going through right now. I've said it once. I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it over and over and over again, is that your daily thought, you might say it out loud or you might keep it in. You don't want surprises with your family. You don't want surprises with you. Unwanted surprises. You want to protect your money. You want to protect your reputation. You want to protect your bank account. You don't want to put your job in jeopardy. You want to live a good lifestyle. You want to be able to move forward. And some of you may even have the thought in your mind of building wealth for you and your family. Like, this is what's prevailing. Prevailing thoughts might be silent in your mind, but this is how you're moving through life. And anything that disrupts that blows up a whole bunch of feelings and anxiety and worry inside of your mind. So that knock on the door like this individual had, or maybe a knock on your door, or maybe you're just kind of cruising right now in your life, looking at your credit, and you're seeing all of this stuff happen. Like, you're getting letters in the mail, you're getting calls to your phone from unidentified numbers. Maybe they're leaving messages, maybe they're not. You're seeing stuff, action on your credit reports, where you got collectors now showing up on your credit reports. You know deep down inside things are getting worse, but you are not either doing anything about it or you don't know what to do about it. So how do you get yourself into the position to be able to beat any lawsuit that's coming either from a debt collector or an original creditor? Is the way that you get yourself into the position, number one, is to respond to the court summons. You have a responsibility, according to what is the law of the land, to respond to that court summons. Think about it this way. Once that debt collector lawyer goes and submits that summons to the court, it's like somebody letting someone else into your family business. Have you ever said, don't bring those people into our business? This is between us and our family. We keep this between the family. Well, when that debt collector goes to that courthouse and files that court summons, all of a sudden they got somebody else that's in your business. Who else is in your business? Is that court. And that court has certain laws that are in place that says you must respond within 20 to 25 days of receiving that court summons. That court also has in its laws saying that if you don't respond to that court summons, that you're going to get a default judgment, that debt collection attorney will be able to turn around, go back in there and say, I want a motion for summary judgment. And because you did not either respond, didn't do anything about it, they're going to get that default judgment. And just so you know, if you don't respond, and I've heard all of these different videos and seen these videos out there and different podcasts where they're telling people don't respond. If you don't respond, nothing's going to happen. If you don't respond, they're going to come after you, continue to come after you. Don't believe them. Now, it could, in certain circumstances, they might not come after you if it's a smaller debt. But even with the smaller debt, I'm starting to see that debt collection companies are coming after people for smaller debts, because it doesn't make sense for you to go out there and hire an attorney if they're coming after you for $600 or $800 or $1,200. What are you going to do? Pay an attorney $1,500 to go represent you in court for a debt that's $600 to $1,200? It doesn't make any sense. So they found their little niche. So it doesn't make sense to people, and they're like thinking, well, what am I going to do? How am I going to respond to this? What am I going to say? What are my rights? Like all of this stuff. And then people start reaching out, looking at videos, finding my videos, listening to other people's videos, and some of the times you get good information, some of the times you get bad information. So what is your right? Number one, when you are served with a court summons, the rights that you have is that you have a right to respond to that court summons. Regardless if it's a debt that was yours, that is yours, from an original creditor or debt collector, your rights And I consider it a responsibility. So if you don't tell people in words, in writing, with your response, what your, to make them understand that you do have rights to question things, then not only what's going to happen is you're going to end up getting a judgment against you, either default judgment or a judgment, even if you're there trying to represent yourself. To get into the position like this client here that has this big seal of the state of Texas, to get into this type of position, you're going to have to question in writing with your response the debt collection attorney who is bringing the case for the original creditor, or the debt collection attorney who is bringing the case for a debt collector. These are your rights, and if you don't initiate your rights, you are going to lose your case. You're going to have your money garnished automatically. You're going to have your bank account frozen or seized until the full judgment amount is paid. So you have a right, number one, to question the contract between you and the original creditor, you and the debt collector. You have a right to make sure that they have permission authorized to handle your personal private information. You have permission to get all of the complete information regarding that account. That includes the account number. You had a right to make them give you documentation to prove how they came up with the claimed amount. The claimed amount is the amount that they're alleging that you owe in the debt lawsuit. You have a right to see how they came up with that amount, to get a full accounting of it. Yes, it will take work. You got to write it a certain way or it's going to be disregarded. You have a right to make sure if it's a portfolio that was purchased or a portfolio that is being that's in the portfolio of the debt collection attorney, to make sure that debt collection attorney knows that that portfolio that they're bringing these cases on is 100% accurate. You have a right to find out if that original creditor filed a 1099-C. We just had a client 1099-C just received that was back from 2022. There are delays in our with the IRS. They're under. They don't have enough staff there. You have a right to make sure that the debt collection attorney who is collecting it, either for the original creditor or debt collector, submitted the proper documentation before bringing you to court. You have a right to make sure that the debt collection attorney presented the case in its entirety at the beginning, that they did not withhold certain documents when bringing the case against you. And that varies from state to state. That's why it would be a good thing of you to educate yourself on this, because when a debt collection attorney, regardless if they're working for the original creditor or debt collector, they must provide certain documents before they even submit the case. They have to have all of those documents submitted at that time. They can't just piecemeal certain documents. There's certain ones that must accompany the lawsuit at the beginning. When there's a debt collector who buys a debt, there are certain documents, such as conformity documents from the portfolio, to show how the portfolio has been shifted from either a portfolio company or directly to that debt collector. These documents have to be submitted at the time the lawsuit is filed. So if you have a debt collection lawsuit from an original creditor or debt collector, I would like to offer a free review of your court summons. You can go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. In the bottom right corner, click on live chat, put your information there, phone number, and upload a copy of your summons. Make it a PDF file to make it easy for us to go through. We'll do a review, follow back up with you on how we can help you with that. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website, your3scores.com, to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, you can stop a lot of this stuff early if you respond the right way. Grab my cease and desist collection activities letter, debt validation letter, and statute of limitations letter. Use the one that's appropriate for your specific situation. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments, like this video. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.